welcome back. Teh Tarik Hour. As always, it's us, your boys, Azreen, Ah Kit. We're back again for another episode. Who knows, in the future sometime.
Nonsense.
More nonsense talk. As always, if you enjoy what we do, please share, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And if you want to reach out to us, tehtarikhour@gmail.com.
Yo. Today, what we want to talk?
Today is a very delicious topic. No, not really delicious. By the time this comes up, it's already passed. But recently there was the budget 2025 tabling,
Yes.
which our dearly beloved Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim shared out all the economic things that we will do for 2025. And one of the key sticking point is today's topic.
Affected all the Malaysians.
Definitely will affect all Malaysians, which is Petrol subsidies.
Yes, the transportation's cost.
Yes, the transportation cost. Well, if you're not familiar with what it is, there will be a targeted subsidy starting next year, right?
Next year, mid of next year.
Mid of next year. So in essentially what that means is
starting use your IC to pump petrol.
But the idea is, the classification is, if you are a let's say a B40, M40, you get more subsidies.
The class the higher class, the rich
income
class,
group.
Rich classes and the poor classes and middle classes. This is the
we don't say like that, but our ranking is the B40, M40, T20. So essentially, if you're middle income or lower income group, you will have more subsidies when you pay for petrol lah. And the way you monitor this is through the IC lah. Now, there have been some criticism about it, but before we get into that, let's just give an idea. How do you think this approach is for you? You think this is a good approach by the government? Or rather, should we be cutting down the petrol subsidies in the first place? Do you think that cutting down the oil subsidies or petrol subsidies, is that something that we should do? Or should we maintain our subsidies for everyone?
I think government have to do a right pace and a right job to target those people who are need the subsidies, because not every single Malaysian need the subsidies. It's like a rich class of people they no need the subsidies.
They shouldn't have to lah.
Yes, because the priority is still in the middle class and the lower class people who are because they need the subsidies lah.
So you agree with the idea that removing subsidies for higher income groups is a good approach lah?
Yes, it's targeted to subsidize the people is a very good approach.
I mean, that's the happy world we live in, is that people with enough money are willing to pay more lah.
You think Malaysian, the rich people is so stupid, man?
Don't say stupid lah.
You think they have of course they have a mind to see, you not pay me, you not subsidize, I can ask people who are bump the petrol.
There comes in the issue here. Therein lies the issue here. So, just to share my personal opinion on this, I do agree as well in removing subsidies towards higher income group lah. If you are someone who earns a lot, I think you can afford to pay a bit more lah. Okay, you don't need to keep that money to pay for your next Rolex or your next Porsche.
They want to save for the
their next
Rolex.
wife or what.
They want to save because the rich people always is thinking, this I save for this money, I can pay for my next Rolex or next supercar. A supercar still need pump petrol.
But then they can use use subsidy. Like if you can buy a supercar, but you need to use a subsidy to pay for petrol. Your priority is not smart. I think
But
personally
maybe the petrol station, you have to choose a car or the MyWe or define which class of car.
Before we get to that, in how do we approach this thing, and there's the criticism there. Personally, again, I reiterate the point that subsidies should be targeted towards lower income groups.
Yes.
Middle income, I would say it depends on the situation, whether or not it's applicable. But on general, subsidies is good for lower income group. If you're a T20 or T15, this new classification somehow.
But do you think they have a limit for people who are pump petrol? Maybe your subsidy is maybe it's a 500 ringgit. After that, 500 ringgit, above and 500 ringgit, you not claim or not get a subsidy anymore because you're already this month already done this 500 subsidies. Do you think they have this cap for every single ICs?
I think there could be a more reasonable approach if you were to say there's a cap lah, there's a limit to how much subsidies you can apply
Because
for.
for one Malaysians guys, if let's say for you commonly you use a petrol, you know over than 1,000, maybe we'll have some like okay, I have a ICs. I'm the middle class or lower class people. I can pump petrol. I'm using my IC. Resell the petrol to other people.
Wow, you
right?
See, that's the thing. I don't have that mentality of doing this resale value and finding the commerce in all these other things. Like
because as a okay.
Then you think there will be a black market like that?
Yes,
it's like,
it can become a black market.
Like, my IC still have 300 ringgit in for oil top up.
Because some people they get the subsidized from governments, but some don't have. So I get a subsidized. Maybe I'm the poor. Then I can make money. It's in the petrol station, and you see a lot of people in the petrol station. You want to pump petrol? I pump for you because I'm the one.
Wow, you imagine this kind of. Oh my God, people capitalism really.
Then you see if let's say for you are a foreigner, Singaporean car, okay, double for you. Like come, I pay for you. You see, you're still cheaper than $97, but you come from me. Then your lot of people is sitting in the petrol station and line up, using their IC to pump petrol.
The thing is, right, usually the solution to this is for these people to get punishment. But knowing Malaysia and our approach towards punishment, probably this kind of black market is
new like regulation. If let's say they implement the subsidy for the working class people and then do this thing.
Again, do you see like this is the abuse that comes out with this kind of thing, like people will take advantage and find a way to take advantage of the situation, which you should not be doing this lah. If you are capable of paying for more than enough, you should pay for it. You should pay your taxes. You should pay for because you already have enough. Like, just give a little bit.
Someone don't have the ideas, but after that we are talking about this. Oh, hey, this is a good idea to make money.
No lah, this one is a brainwave one. Someone should think already lah. But the thing is, whether or not they're willing to do it is the thing. Someone will sure do lah, and then start all this market and terrible thing lah. But to get back to the whole petrol thing, this targeted subsidies thing, I'm all for it. The implementation is the issue, because right now it is just IC based, right? And I don't know the details of how the system is going to work. Maybe there will be a cap or a limit to how much you can claim for the subsidies or whatnot lah. But the idea now is that the criticism is targeting just by IC is not an efficient system, because it can be a take advantage, like you say. Someone can just stand there at the petrol station, say, my IC can claim this.
I think should not go to the IC if let's say we are categorized on because we are categorized on the CC and the car. We should, if let's say you this MyWe is 1.5 cc the car, then you can pump for this petrol. And then if let's say you pakai a Mercedes, if let's say this one can't, it's luxury cars, then you have to pump cannot pump 95, got the subsidized. I think see from okay, no matter you are rich, you see in the MyWe, okay lah, you see in MyWe doesn't matter, because you are poor people, then you sort out your Mercedes and sit in the MyWe, then it's reasonable. It depends on the car you come in and pump the petrol. Because you have the luxury life, you have to pay more. Then you have the normal life, you pay less, because everyone need cars. MyWe and this the Protons, Sagas or whatever. This is a very common car in Malaysia. Then you can get the subsidized. This is what I'm thinking lah.
I think that's also a lot of people's approach to this. I think KJ also said that the idea of the IC system is not really that good. Instead, it should be targeted towards like the type of car lah, your CC and all this. This is a much more better way to provide subsidies, targeted subsidies. And I don't like to agree with KJ all the time, but I have to agree with him about this, because it makes sense, right? Like it should be based on the car you use, not on your IC. Yeah. But the thing is, I feel like apparently some of the issues there is the database thing lah. Like, how do you know this car is owned to that person or all this thing? Like, there's some kind of like issue there in trying to keep track. Whereas using your IC is probably easier, because you just check your IC and then you see you deserve it or not lah.
I think the petrol. The petrolers, it will be based on your IC or see on IC. Even they scan you'll get a special machine to scan on your IC, and then this is defined in the middle class. Okay, I can give you a pump of 95.
But the thing is, right, isn't that even more scary because you're giving out your IC to random people like that one. Then your data, who knows, this person also will keep your data safe, and you go to a gas station, you don't know the machine also is protected or not, man. That's why I think the IC system also is very flawed.
The seller also can be a salesman. This is a middle class. Okay, I can sell him more.
You also don't know. There's many ways to take advantage one.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's just the car type, probably easier, right?
Yep. This is more easier.
But I don't know why the government decided the IC is the best approach. Maybe there's a reasoning there that I'm not aware of.
See, if let's say for some people who are driving a van or some things, they are carrying rezeki one, they are carrying makan one, or then maybe they're qualified to get the subsidies.
But then that's different. Like if you say maybe you drive a truck lah. Truck also big CC right?
Truck, I think probably truck they are go for diesel ma.
That's already different lah. There's already subsidies targeted to that. Or if you drive like a school van
school vans.
Maybe it's for work thing. But then you don't need to have your IC for that. You could just have your, let's say, work permit. That can also be a way to monitor or at least claim for. Let's say you drive a school van, then that means you have paperwork to show that you are school van driver.
Or maybe we have this subsidized, we have a special card or special Petrol card for all the Malaysians. Maybe we can line up for the cards. Let's say for people who need the subsidized, I give you a one sub card, attach your name or attach your IC.
Could be, or it doesn't have to be a card. Your MyJPJ there also can put in, you apply for that and just have that there. I mean, there are many ways around it, but it seems like the one they chose is the most inefficient one or the simplest approach, just to use IC, which again I think is going to have issues in the long run because in all honesty, there's many ways the rich people can or high income group can take advantage of this situation. Like you say, maybe they have a driver. They can ask the driver to pump their car. They tell the driver, you bring my Mercedes, you use your IC like that also can one.
Nowadays, the data, all the data is in the government side. So I think the data, the bank account, if let's say go for subsidies so if let's say go for Maybanks, everyone got the Maybanks. So I subsidize how many subsidies for the middle class people. So every month, 300 ringgit to your touch and go wallets, or 400 ringgit go to your touch and go wallets. This is a very reasonable. So if let's say you have the rich class people, then we are go for you are no subsidized. You're not entitled to get the subsidized. Don't have any.
I don't know if that's an efficient process as well.
So the petrol station, there are no need to worry about any job. But the pricing.
What if that person doesn't even have a car in the first place? Then suddenly you get 300 for that one. How do you find the database? But then there's the idea of who has access to the data? How is it going to be protected? How can you ensure data protection? What if the data gets leaked? Then all your personal information These are many things that we need to consider as well, isn't it?
I think government should be do a new registration for the subsidized petrol.
You see how our digital
kiosk. Then you go to the line up the kiosk. Then
need to do it again.
Fill up the form and everything.
It doesn't seem like there's a elegant solution to this. But the thing is, right, one thing that was brought up to me when I was talking about this at work, right? Yeah, one thing is, yes, rich people will use take advantage by asking their drivers or something. The other thing, right, and I think maybe this could lead to more is that the rich people will just drive more EV rather than use petrol car.
EV.
Your favorite subject there because that's the thing. Like apparently, this colleague of mine said that where she stays, a lot of the T20, T15, they all drive EV already, because it's cheaper in the long run. You don't have to pay for petrol. Usually the property you live in has some kind of.
So, of course, the rich people living in landed, and some of the high-end condo,
they sure have
a lot of the pot there.
So in the end of the day, this subsidy removal, you won't get the benefit of having the rich people pay for it because they can just avoid it altogether. In the end, who has to pay for it is M40 the most has to pay because they won't get full subsidies. Instead, it's probably partial subsidy in terms of petrol it's only the B40 that will get the full subsidy. So at the end of the day, middle income people will pay the most tax or pay the most price. So you probably can.
Actually, the whole world, the suffer is the middle class of people, ma.
That's because the approach is not correct, ma. That's why. Like this, the idea is if you you force people to encourage people to take more EV, that might improve our infrastructure in like sustainability lah. But rather, I hope that from this subsidy you would push more towards like public transportation or better accessibility to public transportation lah. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think you know what's going to happen lah.
Free toll, maybe it's a lesser the toll.
I don't think so. I don't think that will happen. You know what will happen lah? All the money we save from this, right? The government, they will make more highway one. More highway for you to drive.
I think KL is not able to cap more highway anymore.
You will find a way one.
Do you think that nowadays our KL, you see a lot of fucking
highway.
highway.
That's the thing. The money is not going to go into like building, improving our streets or fixing pothole. It's going to go to building highways that go all around, that go nowhere one, and end up halfway stop production, stop construction because no money already. This is the thing. There needs to be a check and balance there in terms of like what the subsidy is used for. Now I can't say for sure what Madani will do with the money saved from the subsidies, but I can tell that right now the outlook is if the money is going to be coming from M40, it's not gonna be a lot lah. Because if it's a T15, T20, they will find a way to avoid this thing one. And we will develop a black market for petrol.
Maybe you just okay, you pump a petrol. It's just like a normal the pricing 95 is all equally for all the Malaysian or the foreigners. But in the end, you claim the tax. You can use your petrol, the receipts, and do the claim.
There's
tax.
Actually one thing, right? You could do that as a claimable in your
claim tax or
for your income tax
subsidize from there lah. Maybe you have to keep all the petrol. Wow.
Receipt. I mean, but that's not hard because everything digital what?
Maybe in digital then easier.
No, nowadays you use your card also. You sure got your receipt every month, your end of the month.
But the card actually have to belong to you, and then you have to let's say lah for this e-wallets is belong to you, Kit. Okay, this is belong to you.
Yeah, of course. Then you will make the claim lah. Actually, that's a much more better solution. I feel like in terms of like subsidies for people to use petrol lah.
Yes,
we don't have to.
Someone is like tax. Your people will run away from the tax, and people can check. Okay, this fella, how come every month is make how many thousand of these petrol?
You can.
The same thing also is like tax. You cannot run away lo. Same things lo. We implement on this petrol.
But I think the thing is right that is a smart solution, but it's not a impactful solution. You know why? Because the pricing of petrol doesn't change, and people only react to pricing change only ma. If I'm a B40 and I see, the pricing is still expensive, then you can say, your income tax. But I'm a B40, I don't pay income tax also. Correct or not?
But so you claim that, not say income tax, I pay the income tax, I can claim back the tax. I claim back the subsidy.
But that's the problem. A lot of lower income people don't file their taxes because a lot of B40 don't have to pay taxes, so they think they don't need to file for taxes, which is actually, if you are a working person, whether you are B40 and 40, file your taxes because that's the easiest way for government to know how to pay you back. Okay, so this is a PSA. This is a amaran. Taxes season is coming soon, so prepare for yourself.
For taxes, like you buy a computers or buy.
Yes, you can claim back all this.
The educations. If let's say you go for the means continuing your educations, you claimable tax. Everything is under the tax.
So regardless of what, even if you're not in the income tax bracket, just file your taxes. Because that way there's a record of you and your money. Because if not, you are wasting away subsidies and your income there lah, from the tax benefits you get. So just a side lah. Remember, file your taxes, okay? But again, that's a much more better solution lah. The only issue is whether or not people would file for taxes is the thing.
Yeah, I think if let's say you want to get the subsidies from government, the person is like me, is very lazy, those kind of people, you should, because this one is your own benefit. What?
Yeah lah.
You don't file.
What give government give you thing? Give away, but you don't want lah.
You know.
And the thing is, right, filing taxes is easier than ever now. You just go there, you just fill in, and then count them already, no?
Yeah. If you say you're really, really lazy, then one no choice, bro.
That one is your problem.
Your problem.
That is your problem. I cannot say anything also. What? That's the thing. There are many more solutions than this, but in the end, the government opt for IC.
I think this is the best way to give the subsidies to all the Malaysians.
You become you become PM. You finance minister. You do lah. You do.
Maybe they have an opportunity. Maybe they see our channels.
You challenge Anthony Lok. No. I mean, like, maybe this would be an effective implementation. Maybe the IC thing would work. I don't know. I always thought the government Madani is not doing so good, but currency wise they're doing good, so I don't know lah.
The currency now is coming down.
Oh, coming down again.
Yeah.
Up and down lah.
Up and down. Very what you say there? It's like the roller coaster.
When will the roller coaster stop? We stop when we die, right? But again, we will see how this goes. I hopefully in the government would provide a more better solution than this. I don't know whether or not that's going to be okay or not, but I'm hopeful that they will come up a better system to this rather than just the IC because we still have time before the implementation, which is 2025, middle of next year So we still
maybe these ideas you guys can propose to our Anthony Lok.
Yeah, leave it in the comments. We will send it to Anthony Lok. We'll talk about it and then tag Anthony Lok like that. But what do you guys think? Is the system for applying subsidies, targeted subsidies, good? Is the government's approach good, or is there a better way like we've discussed today? Let us know what you guys think by leaving a comment below. And as always, if you enjoyed what we do, what we talk about or nonsense,
and subscribe our channel.
Share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Please subscribe. We want to reach that 1,000 hopefully. And if you want to reach out to us, tehtarikhour@gmail.com. Until then, thank you guys for watching. We will see you on the next episode.
Bye bye.